Hello and welcome. Welcome. We are live. This is the St. John's Coffeehouse concert virtual live stream. We are in the virtual studio today. As many of you may know, St. John's Coffeehouse Concerts has been running for 10 years in the community of Arlington, creating community, creating resources for artists, as well as working in tandem with local charities to do important social work. So this has been an initiative led by our producer, Charlotte Pierce. We are very lucky to have her really bringing the energy to create this whole event today. And we're lucky to have a lot of performers. We'll have some poems read. This will be going on for about 2 hours, and we invite you to tune in for as much time as you can and to donate what you can. Down below, you'll see the Venmo link at Charlotte Pierce 1. We are going to get into it further now. Again, welcome. My name is Nathan Montgomery. I will be your MC for the evening. It's my pleasure. And without further ado, I will hand the mic over to Charlotte to introduce things. Charlotte, how are you doing?
Taking the mic. I'm not actually outside, but this is our church where we have the concerts at 74 Pleasant Street. And we started actually in 2012, which is, we're in our 9th year, I think. That was 9th year.
Correction, 9 years.
So we will have a big live blowout when we do 10 years, I promise you. But we had a number of concerts canceled this spring because starting in after February was our last one, and then we had Quinn and the Fiddlin' Quinn and the Berry Pickers were supposed to come, and Ensemble 44, a classical group, and then Foggy Mountain Consort in June. So we're moving all those to later in the year, hopefully. We have always contributed most of our income from the concerts we pay the musicians a fair rate, and then we contribute to Arlington Eats, formerly the food pantry, and Arlington Housing Corporation, which is for affordable housing in this area. And we were going to do FoodLink for the March concert. So that's why we're benefiting FoodLink today. And we're really glad. We're going to shout out to some of the people who've donated so far in the advance of this show. And Christine Carney, David Wilcox, I'll be plugging them throughout the thing. And you can send a donation of any amount to Charlotte-Pierce-1. I don't know if you need the dashes, but maybe. Anyway, we're just thrilled to have you, and you're in for a treat. And I'd like to now introduce one of the hardest working people in Arlington, in New England, maybe, Julie Kremer, the founder and vice president of FoodLinkMA.org. FoodLink. Want to say a few words about the organization?
Thank you very much, Charlotte. I'm Julie Kremer, co-founder of FoodLink, along with Deanne DuPont. I'd like to also thank St. John's Coffeehouse for providing this tremendous opportunity for FoodLink and the musicians. We're grateful to each of you for participating tonight and supporting us and the network of musicians. If you're not already familiar with what FoodLink does, we were founded 8 years ago, as I said, by Deanne DuPont and myself, after seeing good food going to waste while at the same time knowing that there were people who were hungry. So over that time, FoodLink has grown to collect 600,000 pounds of food per year. And this work is done 7 days a week with over 250 dedicated volunteers. So we collect fresh produce, meat, dairy, and bread. And it's rescued from about 25 grocers, farms, and retailers, and then distributed to 50 social service agencies serving people in need in about 20 towns. Since the health crisis began in mid-March, FoodLink has pivoted the way we do both food rescue and distribution. We can no longer deliver directly to most of our usual recipient agencies, so we're still providing food to established food pantries like Arlington Eats Market and to pop up food distribution centers in towns across Eastern Massachusetts. That now includes Chelsea, Revere, Peabody, Lynn, Waltham, Arlington, Lexington, Medford, and Malden, besides our usual places. We've doubled our food rescue in the past 90 days from 45,000 pounds a month to 90,000 pounds a month. So we now collect from our usual stores like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, while also collecting from public schools, stores, and wholesalers. So as you may have read, in Massachusetts, 38% of residents now face food insecurity versus 9% before the COVID outbreak. So the number of people in need of food quadrupled practically overnight. Additionally, the national and global food systems have been disrupted at every level, from farming to transportation to retail. So FoodLink puts its nimble nature to work, still 7 days a week, even harder than before. We're in the process of renovating the building that we purchased at 108 Summer Street in Arlington, which some of you may have been driving by daily, which will become our FoodLink hub. And this will enable us to collect and distribute even more food, as well as provide community space for other nonprofit events. We hope to have a new virtual event in support of that building this June. So keep watching out for what we're doing. And thanks again for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for letting us know all of the important work that FoodLink is doing. Really remarkable how you all have chosen to step up amid this coronavirus crisis. We thank you for that. My question is, if there's anybody watching right now who is looking to volunteer, are you accepting new volunteers, or is there a way to get involved besides donating?
Yeah, we are. We are accepting new volunteers. You can just go to our website and click on the area to become a volunteer and fill out paperwork. So our website is www.foodlinkma.org, and it's very easy to become connected with us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Julie. You heard it here first, everybody. To be involved with FoodLink, visit foodlinkma.org, and you also can tune in right now and donate, and proceeds will go to help these wonderful performers that we have today, as well as FoodLink and Julie and the important work that they are doing in Massachusetts with this crisis. Thank you again, Julie, for all of your work.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Of course. Of course. So again, if you're just tuning in, this is the virtual studio here at St. John's Coffeehouse Concerts. We are thrilled to have, we've already got many people joining us. Hello to you all. Again, my name is Nathan. I am emceeing, and I'm very happy to be doing it. We are going to kick off our performance with we're actually going to start with a poem. So for that, we have
Could I just interrupt you for a second, Jeff?
Absolutely.
We have to remove you from the stream because we need to bring our we need to bring our musicians in. Okay.
All right. We are just, it's some technical, this is our first time doing it in the virtual studio. We're hopefully everything should be very smooth, but we're just working it out here as we start. Again, we are starting with a poem, which I'm very excited for. In the studio today, we have local poet laureate Steve Ratiner. Steve, how are you doing today? Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. Steve, what would you like us to know about the poem you're going to read for us?
Well, it's called Shelter in Place, and then parentheses, between you and I. I think of it as sort of a Corona love poem. Most of us are at home, hopefully with people we love, and this enforced isolation has been demanding a lot of us. And maybe one of the side products is we have to look at each other with fresh eyes. So for a poet, that often means a poem might come from this. The only other thing I'll say before I read the poem is the subtitle, Between You and I. You'd see this if you were reading the poem in front of you. The very first word in the poem, italicized, is the word you. And the very last word in the poem, italicized, is the word I. So I'll read it to you. Shelter in place, between you and I. You look up from your book sometimes, or pause over yet another plate of carbonara, a creamy forkful stilled in midair, and stare at me as if I'd only just appeared, as if you needed to study the face of this man to remember who you'd been cooped up with these lonely 2 weeks, been coupled with this tangled skein of years. And now your searching eyes invite my own to seek in your countenance the answer to a question I'd not thought to ask, at least not in a long while. And I smile, place a hand lightly on your shoulder to say, without actually having to say, and for both your sake and mine, sono io, it is I. There were lots of moments that I'd look up and see my wife staring at me, and I realized sometimes we forget to look hard into each other's faces, and we have to relearn who that person is, even if we've been together for years and years and years. I'm sure I'm not alone in this, too.
Wow. Thank you so much, Steve. That was
Sure,
beautiful.
My pleasure to share it.
Yeah, I felt like I really want carbonara now. I felt like I could taste that. Beautiful. I definitely can understand that feeling of really having to remember to really take a look at your surroundings and take note of the resources around you, as we're forced to stay inside. So as you are cooped up, right? You're writing, there's definitely creativity going on, but I've heard that you are working on a red letter poems project. I was wondering if you could tell us all a little bit about that.
Sure. When I was appointed as Arlington's Poet Laureate, I was hatching a number of projects, trying to have poetry appear in different places in the community, unexpected places, not just at poetry readings or courses, workshops. And one of the ones was going to be a project where I'd gotten a large group of volunteers, and we were going to place 1,000 actual red envelopes with a poem each from a different Arlington poet in the mail to 1,000 random households, so that they'd have the intimate experience of just being able to read a poem. But then obviously all that was put on hold when COVID struck. But after being alone for the first week, I realized the sense of isolation is really difficult and maybe be more important than ever. So now, once a week on a Friday, a new poem comes out from a different poet. And because we're partnering with groups like the Arlington Center for the Arts, the Commission on Arts and Culture, the Public Library, the Adult Ed Center, the International Film Festival, it goes out through all of their websites or their mailing lists as well. We probably hit 20 or 30,000 people with a new poem every week. And if you aren't on the list and want to get one, just send me a note to stephen.arlingtonlaureate@gmail.com, and we'll add you to the list. And every Friday you'll have another little momentary calm when a poem comes and taps you on the shoulder.
Fantastic, Steve. Thank you for those words. Again, you heard it, folks. Just email stephen.arlingtonlaureate@gmail.com to be added to the list for the Red Letter Poems Project, a really beautiful project. We're so lucky to have creative people in Arlington working to bring us art even in times of crisis. Thank you so much for your words, Steve.
My pleasure.
All right, Arlington's Poet Laureate. We will hear more from him later. Stay tuned, everybody. Now, again, if you're just tuning in, we're here in the virtual studio with St. John's Coffeehouse Concerts. Very happy to be here, happy to be hosting. We are going to kick off our music segment now. So we have a variety of amazing performers. We have an eclectic genre. We have so many genres being represented. We're really fortunate. We are going to start with none other than Lara Herscovitch. Thank you so much for being here, Lara. Lara, the Boston Globe said you bring a luminous voice and buoyant stage presence. We are so happy to have your presence with us today. How are you this evening?
Nathan, thank you. I'm good. I'm glad to be here among all of you. Stephen, that was beautiful. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody to come.
Fantastic. Lara, what can you tell us about the song you will play for us today?
I will tell you about it the second I decide what song that is. I think I'm gonna play a song. I have a brand new album out called Highway Philosophers, and I think I'll just play the title track for you. It's a song about travel, but I think as we're all learning, as I'm learning anyway, there's plenty of travel to be done. Internally, externally, right where we are. So with that spirit, I just send best wishes to all of you for tuning in. Thanks to everybody who's donating. Thanks so much to Charlotte for pulling us all together, and to FoodLink for the incredible work that you're doing to keep people healthy. Highway Philosophers. We are highway philosophers. We can drive alongside all the toughest truckers. We ride gently through the night. We let our lives tick by in lollipop signs, 0.2 of a mile at a time. We flew in yesterday on dragonfly wings, came around the bend just in time to see this new day begin. One road not taken, then the next, till we found ourselves standing right here in this gorgeous wilderness. We built our home in the philosopher's stone, questions and promises to keep, and 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 highway miles to go before we sleep. We swim in concrete rivers and dark corners of our minds. Any given moment, shine a light in there. You don't know what you'll find. So many theories piled high, while we watch the tire pressure getting closer to the true meaning of life. And somewhere in our container there's a door to a field. Any time of day or night, just say the word, we'll get the landing gear. And try to make something clear. Maybe what we found, what we lost, all the blind spots or the cost of where we steer. We build our home in the philosopher's stone, questions and promises to keep, and 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 highway miles to go. Well, tomorrow never knows. If it did, it wouldn't tell. So there really is no way to say if this is going well. I drew a compass on my skin, so when any fog rolls in, I know precisely where to begin. We built our home in the philosopher's stone, promises and questions to keep, and 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 highway miles to go before we sleep. Before we sleep, before we sleep, before we sleep.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lara.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day and like incredible people to come. So like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing everybody.
Absolutely. What inspired the title Highway Philosophers?
That's a good question. Typically am touring, so I'm on asphalt a lot, and I end up in these like middle of the night conversations, and that hasn't changed. Those of us who tour typically will, we may be at St. John's Coffeehouse concerts in Arlington, and then the show's over at 10, and we're in our car by 11:30 and driving 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours somewhere home sometimes. And we end up in conversations with each other touring musicians about all kinds of things, including, the meaning of life and those sorts of things. So lots of philosophy, but not in the academic intellectual way, very much in the working musicians kind of highway way. And I tour solo and also sometimes in duo and trio formats. I was looking for a name for my band, and actually the name for the band is Highway Philosophers, and that came before the album, partly because of this song as well. So
fantastic. I was actually just watching a clip of Duke Ellington talking with Johnny Carson, and he talked about that lifestyle, that living on the road as a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
So that really reminds me of that. So Lara, thank you again for playing. You can find Lara's new album, Highway Philosophers, at LaraHerscovitch.com. Is that correct?
That's correct. And everywhere else you find music, it'll be there. Fantastic.
I will be looking for it, and I hope you will too. Lara Herscovitch, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Nathan.
Of course. Fantastic. Loved that song. Great fluidity between the guitar and voice. Next up, we have the pleasure of featuring Ben Rudnick from the group Ben Rudnick and Friends, who are about to celebrate their 20th anniversary in the fall of 2020. Ben, are you with us today?
I think I am.
Awesome. Great to see you, Ben.
Great to be here, man.
How have you been doing all cooped up?
I have to say, I've been enjoying ice cream a little bit more than usual. Playing a lot of guitar. Yeah, walking the dog a whole bunch, Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Ben, what are you gonna? I can relate to the ice cream, certainly. But what are you gonna share with us today?
I'm not sure what Charlotte has tapped up. I think it's a video that we have called A Frog Named Sam. The rest of the friends couldn't be here today, so she asked for a video, and I expect somebody has it other than me.
Yes. You don't need to. I'm trying to juggle as well as.
Charlotte is juggling. We're doing fantastic. We're going to hear a clip.
I'm chewing gum and rubbing my head as well. So let's see. Now I've got to get.
That's me. That's me on the beach there.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monster No or Frog Named Sam?
Sam, let's be happy. And
Sam,
rock.
let's be happy. Okay. Here
Awesome. Without further ado, A Frog Named Sam by Ben Rudnick and Friends.
A frog named Sam, he had a problem. He didn't like water, sand didn't like the wall. A frog named Sam, he had a problem. He didn't like the water, sand didn't like the wall.
Oops.
Sam took his phone and left the wall. He moved to the city where Frog named Sam. He was Sam was he left the wall. He didn't fall the city, Sam didn't like the wall. Sam Sam, he liked to sing. He liked to sing real low. That frog named Sam, he liked to sing. He liked to let his spirit show. He said, boom, 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 da boom, ribbit, ribbit, croak, boom, boom, boom. Sam got a band, put on a show. People and frogs came to hear Sam sing, came to hear him sing real low. He sang boom, 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 ribbit, croak, boom, 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 ribbit, croak, boom, boom, boom. After the show, Sam wondered where to go. He missed his friends. He missed the water. Sam, he liked to sing. He liked to sing real low. Back in the pond, they all sang about the water. Sam in the water. Boom, 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 boom. Ribbit, croak, boom, 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 ribbit, croak, boom, boom. He said, boom, 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 ribbit, croak, boom, 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 ribbit, croak, boom.
Hey, I am sorry. This was our first technical glitch.
That video looked like a whole lot like us. And we're a good looking bunch. That's all I have to say.
Oh, yeah, there's
one of my
a little
favorites.
bit at the beginning, but really cleared up. And man, I love that outro, that funky breakdown at the end.
It's funky, man.
That's awesome. So it's been 20 years with the band. How did you all start playing together?
A good buddy of mine, John Zivos, and I wrote some songs for my daughter's 4th birthday, and we decided to, make an album around those 4 songs, and we did. And then I managed to get like a review in the Rolling Stone, and then we made another album, and now we're 12 albums, a play, and over 950 shows in. We have a lot of music. If anybody out there cares to check it out, you can go to benrudnick.com. It's out there. We have a lot of music that will make your family happier. That's the deal.
Amazing. Ben, thank you so much. We
Pleasure.
all need some happiness in these times, and that's actually, I can't think of a better reason to start a band. So
exactly.
Everybody can find that song and more at benrudnick.com and groove along to some ribbits and some drum beats, and hope you check it out. Thank you so much, Ben, for being here. I really appreciate you.
Thanks so much for having me. I look forward to hearing you guys as well.
Absolutely. All right. Wonderful to hear from Ben Rudnick and friends about to celebrate their 20th anniversary. They have a show that is still scheduled for November 21st at the Regent Theater.
Yes.
We hope that the world is healthy enough for that to happen. So keep an eye out. Thank you again. Thank you again, Ben.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Shizue Sano. Shizue is a Coffeehouse veteran, played many times in this series. She brings the heat with all the wonderful repertoire she has under her fingers. Shizue, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited. This is my first live streaming concert.
Fantastic. It's mine too, as well, to be honest. So we're in it together. Shizue, what are you going to play for us today?
I think I'm going to play Chopin's Fantasy Impromptu, and this is a very well-known popular piece. And actually, there are two versions to this. Usually, what people are familiar with is the version that his friend Fontana edited quite heavily, actually. But tonight, I'm going to play the version that Chopin wrote down, so his manuscript version, autographed version, well, his original. So it will sound a bit different, but I think I like this one better.
Fantastic. Shizue, take it away. Thank you for the Chopin. Oh my goodness. Shizue, that was a gift. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's not every day that you hear Chopin played so beautifully. That piece in particular, just I love the contrast between the A section and the B section and how they play with each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
What how are you staying sane with everything going on right now?
Actually, other than the lessons became online, what I'm doing is not too much different. I practice, I teach, I walk the dog, and then that's pretty much my life.
There you go. That's nothing wrong with I know that piano, solo piano practice requires a lot of alone time, a lot of dedication. So I'm glad that you still have time to dedicate to your craft. We are blessed that you do. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for sharing the music with me.
Absolutely. Shizue, is there if we want to find your music or take lessons, how could anybody find your music or information?
You can go to my website, that's shizuesano.com. Then you'll find me there, and also I have a YouTube channel with my name. I should have thought something fancier as a YouTube channel name, but it's my name.
Perfect. That's consistent. Everybody, if you would like to hear more of this beautiful music by great composers played beautifully on piano, or if you are interested in any lessons, they are being offered virtually. You can visit shizuesano.com or the YouTube page. Shizue, thank you so very much again for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. To change gears a little bit, we are on to our next performer, Akili Jamal Haynes. Akili, how are you doing today?
Hello. Hey, doing all right. How's it going?
It is going well over here. We can hear you loud and clear. Akili, we are very lucky to have. He is the chair of percussion and popular music at the Community Music Center of Boston, as well as working in a variety of music schools, including Berkeley and Harvard. And Akili, tell us a little bit about what you're going to share with us today.
Okay, so I did prepare 2 songs just in case, but a lot of us are experiencing different things in this lockdown situation. The pandemic has brought a lot of deaths, and recently an old church friend of ours passed away. He was found in his home. He was dead 2 days. It's sort of a somber time, but what music can do is allow you to release and grieve. And what a composer can do is add special sounds, say the right thing to help the situation. So this song that I'm going to share actually was written when the artist formerly known as Prince passed away, and a similar situation, he was found. But this song expresses more than that. It's actually been retitled 3 times. So it's now called Find Your Love. So through it all, what you're trying to do is find the love in all this, because all of us are experiencing pain. So what I want to offer is release from that pain and finding love, offering love, giving love. So this is Find Your Love.
touched by an elder's hand, guiding me to healing sand. I hear the whispers of wisdom in my ear. A ray of sun on a busy day. The young man is on his way to the land where I'm from. Many news are to the day. A message I'm ready to receive. I'm always wide awake when I dream my life. No more fear, I'm rising high, I'm living love and life. You know we're all soldiers in this army of love. And we know that cause we know now that there's somewhere love was never never. Free body and mind, and it just is on the rise. A symbol for love, no, that's right. I'm always wide awake when I dream my life. No more fear, I'm riding high, I'm living love and life. You know we're all soldiers in this army of love. And we know that cause we know now that there's somewhere love was never never know.
Remove a few people. How are we doing?
We're doing all right. Akili, we can't hear you. There
Something,
you are.
Oh, really? You couldn't hear me? And
It just cut out at the very end. It just
At the
about
very
15
end,
seconds ago. Just about 15 seconds ago.
we
All right,
wanted
everybody.
more.
wow. I looked and it said mute, but I I can't touch it while I'm drumming. I don't know what happened. Sorry
That's
about
okay.
that.
I understand. It's a no. We really heard the basically the entire song. Love is the answer. Akili, are you playing every? Is that all you on on those tracks?
Oh, yeah. On the track I'm playing everything. Yeah. So let me see what's on that track. There's live drum set. There's electric bass. I have my 5-string electric bass. I'm doing all the MIDI keyboards. The horn lines are actually, those horn lines are MIDI on this particular one, but I do also play trumpet, and the vocals are all me.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
What is your favorite instrument to play? Do you have one?
Not really. It's just the one that I'm playing at the time. That's my favorite one.
Fantastic. Is there one that you started on in particular?
Actually, my dad plays congas, and my mom, she basically took me to church every day. My grandmother is a pastor down in Georgia, and so she would play the piano, and I'd hear the choir. So at home, we had a piano and the conga drums. So the first thing I think I did was really beat on pots and pans, but there was also the piano. So when I was about 1-2 years old, I used to practice piano, and I got my first drum set when I was about 5.
Fantastic. Wow.
Mhm.
That's I just knowing from experience, congas are deceptively difficult.
Oh yeah, a lot of things are deceptively difficult. Anything's difficult if you don't practice.
Right. If you want to do with anything the right way, it's there tends to be some difficulty. Akili, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your music, sharing your that healing energy, that love. I can definitely feel it. I think that don't want to speak for everyone else, but I'm sure that they can too. Akili, if we want to find more of your work, where can we find you?
Well, my website has changed domain names. So right now I can be found on Facebook at World of Chibuzo. Chibuzo is CHIBUZO. And I can also be Googled Akili Jamal Haynes, and a lot of things come up.
Fantastic. Akili, you really bring a lot of thought and a lot of emotion to and a lot of practice to what you do. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank
for
you.
everyone listening, please check out Akili Jamal Haynes on the internet, on Facebook, CHIBUZO, Chibuzo.
Right. I also offer lessons. I'm doing remote lessons as well through Community Music Center of Boston. So if anyone wants to get in contact with them, feel free and ask for me, and they will put you in contact with me.
Fantastic. Everybody, you heard it here. Akili Jamal Haynes. Thank you so very much for sharing your music with us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Have a good time.
Of course. Akili, that was fantastic. For all of us joining who may be just tuning in, this is the St. John's Coffeehouse concert series. We are in the virtual studio today. This is a series that's gone on for 9 years, live at St. John's Church in Arlington, building community, raising money for artists as well as for charities. Today we are working with FoodLinkMA, who play a vital role in food distribution here in Arlington and beyond. They have been working in over 20 cities and expanded their reach drastically because of the crisis. As we heard from as we heard from Julie Kramer, the co-founder and vice president, 38% of Massachusetts residents are now experiencing food insecurity, as opposed to 9% before the crisis. So we want to help out as much as we can, and we want to support artists. Again, it all goes to FoodLink. You can find the donation link should be going across the bottom here at Charlotte-Pierce-1 with the memo, "Give me shelter." Thank you again for joining us. We're here in the virtual studio. We're going to keep on going here. My name is Nathan Montgomery. I am your MC tonight. We are going to start this next set of music with the wonderful Linda Shoemaker and Louise Grasmere duo. How are you today, Linda and Louise? We are not getting, let me see. I need to unmute your mic there.
Hey, Nathan. How's that?
Hello.
How's
Perfect.
that?
Hear you loud and clear.
Oh, good. That's great. It's nice to see everybody. Great to hear the music. We're coming to you live from Arlington, East Arlington.
Fantastic. Linda and Louise are Arlington Coffeehouse veterans. They have been part of this community for a while, and we're so glad to have both of you here. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're going to share with us today?
I'd like to do 2 songs. The first song is called Barley, The Wind That Shakes the Barley. It's by the Birds of Chicago, and we just feel like it's, it really says a lot about what we need. We need that kind of strength and stamina to get through this time, and we cannot let this time shake us. And then we're going to move on to a kind of if there's time, we'll move on to a love song that's going to keep us all together. So here's Barley. Wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. Like my mama told me, this I so know that I see. Yeah, the fire that takes the kindling will not take me. The fire that takes the kindling will not take me. The fire that takes the kindling will not take me. Like my mama told me, this I so know that I see. Yeah, the rain that floods the valley will not drown me. No, the rain that floods the valley will not drown me. The rain that floods the valley won't drown me. No, like my mama told me, this I so know that I see. Yeah, the dark before the dawn breaks will not find me. The dark before the dawn breaks will not find me. The dark before the dawn breaks will not find me. Like my mama told me, this I so know that I see. Oh, the wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley so much. That's the wind that shakes the barley.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Linda and Louise. How did the two of you start playing together?
Well, we met each other about 20 years ago, and we've been playing music in different settings for over 20 years. Depends on, what we're interested in at the time. And right now we're really, really enjoying this duo that we've got going. We're happy to be living here in East Arlington in this beautiful community, and we've got a chance to just play music together, and that's what we are doing.
Fantastic. Linda and Louise, where can we find more of your music?
I would say the best thing to do is to find us on Facebook. And I have Louise Grasmere Music and just Louise Grasmere, and also Linda Shoemaker on Facebook. And that's the best way.
Fantastic. I believe it seems like we may only just have time for that one today. But please check out Linda Shoemaker and Louise Grasmere on Facebook. They have played with Arlington at St. John's Coffeehouse concerts before, and will be playing there again. So they'll be with us again. Linda and Louise, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you, Nathan. Thanks, Charlotte.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Fantastic. All right, that's love to hear some musicians playing together. We don't always get that. We were not getting all of that in this virtual concert. But yeah, the wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. All right, I love it. Now we are moving on to a clip. We are going to talk to Stanley from the band Stanley and the Undercovers. Stanley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Stanley, tell us a little bit about your group. You've been playing together for a while.
Yeah, I've been playing. Well, me and John Gibson, who's a member of St. John's Parish there, have been playing together, I think, for 10, 12 years. And we've sort of had these two lives. We had the group called In the Public Interest for a while. We did a lot of original political music and that sort of thing. And we've kind of kept that up. And then we started Stanley and the Undercovers maybe 4 or 5 years ago, which plays all kinds of classic rock stuff, the Stones, the Beatles, Cream, all kinds of stuff from the 60s. And we really specialize in playing music that gets people to dance. That's really our main goal. And we played not in the coffee houses, really. We've done these little parties at St. John's over the last, I think, 5 years. And we played all over. We've played from one part of Arlington to the other part of Arlington. I think we've toured Arlington the most of any band in history, actually. But we've had a real good time doing that stuff.
There you go. You have some history in the making with Stanley and the Undercovers. Stanley, what are you going to share with us today?
So I wrote a song called Innocent People, and it's about the whole issue of immigration and particularly what's happening on the border, and work with a buddy of mine to create a music video. And we were actually going to use it at a big fundraiser, the Dance for Dignity, which was scheduled for March 14th, which was the second of two dances that fundraisers that we were doing to raise money for folks who are seeking sanctuary, and also for those who are seeking legal assistance in battles around immigration. So that's what the song was written for, and it's on YouTube. And we did raise quite a bit of money on both of the events, even the one that was canceled. We still raised, I think, $5,000-6,000. We would have raised a lot more had we been able to actually have the event. But yeah.
Beautiful. Stanley, we certainly here we understand the importance of merging the arts with, social justice, getting using it as a platform to help other people. So
absolutely.
Thank you for doing that. And without further ado, we have Innocent People by Stanley and the Undercovers.
innocent people just
So that's not going to work too well.
trying to survive. Innocent people just trying to stay alive. What kind of country turns its back on the world? What kind of country cages little boys and girls? Aren't we all responsible for what's being done? If we don't stand up against those evil ones, we talk of freedom, but you know that talk is cheap. What are the values that will fight to keep? What kind of person can be so cruel? What kind of person can be misery's tool? It's time to be counted for who we really are, and stop this hatred and heal this shameful scar. Are we all responsible for what's being done? If we don't stand up against these evil ones, we talk of freedom, but you know that talk is cheap. What are the values that will fight to keep? That will fight to keep. Innocent people just trying to survive. Innocent people just trying to stay alive. What kind of country do we want to people are we? What kind of country do we want to be? What kind of people are we?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Stanley. Really important messages here. I will just say real quick, I got a little bit of skipping on my end. I'm hoping that you did not get it on your end. There is a high amount of internet traffic these days. We should have everything downloaded. But of course, this is the first time we're doing this, so I'm hoping it all came through loud and clear. Stanley, what kind of clearly you have compassion for people, and I'm wondering if you have any messages or thoughts for the people out there cooped up during this current crisis that we are in.
Oh, I think we all have messages for each other of all kinds. I mean, the need to be engaged, the need to be informed is greater now than it's ever been, and the cost of not being informed is as apparent as it possibly could be. So I hope that as a society we've learned some lessons, and and take the kind of action that needs to be taken to have a more just and humane government and policies. Support people, support each other. I mean, this pandemic is terrible. It feels horrible being in it, but it's so much worse if we can't be united as a country, and that also is a big part of the solution as well. So I guess that would be my message.
Amazing. No, coming together, healing together, believing each other, helping each other. Those are all powerful statements, Stanley. Thank you so much for sharing. Everybody, you can find this video and more on Stanley and the Undercovers YouTube page. Stanley, is there any other platform that we can where we can access your music?
Yeah, you can go to Stanley and the Undercovers on Facebook as well. And there's tons of all the cover material that we do with Cream and Beatles and all that kind of stuff. And Innocent People is a YouTube video. You can just put it in and put my name in there, and it'll come up, and you can hear that as well. So thanks a lot for this opportunity, and thanks for doing this, and thanks for all the work that St. John's does all year long to help folks and to give artists a respectful platform to share their work with folks.
Thank you so much, Stanley. We really appreciate that, and we really appreciate Charlotte for all the work that she's done with this concert series. Thank you again for sharing with us.
Okay.
I've got to apologize to some of the artists, performers who are waiting to come on. We can only take 6 at a time, including the tech. So that's why we're not letting you on just yet. But we have, gosh, who do we have? Chris, David, Ruthann? Awesome.
Yes, we are doing fantastic. We are in this virtual studio. I'm really having a lot of fun here being with all of you. Next up, we have Chris Wells from the Outrageous Fortune Jug Band. Chris, welcome to the studio.
Hi.
Not sure. Got a new CD up there.
Yeah, this is a CD, Delta Bound, came out a couple years ago, and artwork by our very talented chief illustrator and harmonica player Rod Thomas. That's him over here. Sorry for the glare. Dan Dick is our multi-instrumentalist. He plays a jug, washboard, percussion, a suitcase kick drum, and we say he's a very tall, 6'7", 3 musicians working as one vertically. Anyway, we're in hiatus right now, so I'm filling in on piano here, and I've got a tune for you, which everybody will recognize, so I won't introduce it, but I think it's appropriate to the time. Here goes. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count the many tears while we all sup sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. If any days you have lingered around our cabin door, oh, hard times come again no more. Though we seek mirth and beauty and music bright and gay, there are frail forms fading at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. It's a sigh that is carried across the troubled grave. It's a wail that's heard upon the shore. It's a dirge that is murmured around the lonely grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Chris. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
A classic Dylan tune, Hard Times.
Stephen Foster, actually.
Oh, excuse me.
It goes way back. He was the original singer-songwriter. He was really the first person that I know of writing in the American tradition that really captured the American feel. So a lot of great tunes, Hard Times, I Dream of Jeannie, Camp Cowan Races.
Absolutely.
And, you can draw a line all the way from him to more contemporary people like Randy Newman, who I think really has captured that feel. It kind of brings some New Orleans kind of piano and groove, and great songwriting also. I'm a huge fan of both of them.
Wow. What other, do you have any other influences that really, what made you start playing music?
I was really inspired by Ry Cooder. Actually, back in the 70s, I really loved his kind of going back to roots and early blues stuff, and very rhythmic and very great kind of funky feel, great guitar playing. And he was kind of mining that vein of kind of 30s Americana that was blues and early country and a little jazz. And I think that's what we try to do in my trio Outrageous Fortune, which, by the way, you can check us out at www.jugband.cool. That's jugband.cool. And,
Fantastic.
Yeah, so, and you can see some videos of us. We had a sort of a last hurrah at the back room at the Burren back in March, just before the shutdown. We kind of got in just under the wire. And there's some videos that were recorded live there, which I'm glad to see that we were out there and doing a great job, and we hope to get back to it again, but it's looks like it could be a while before we're all together. So we do the best we can.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for that wonderful rendition. Hard times come again no more. I think we can all relate to that well. Again, find their music at www.jugband.cool. Sounds pretty cool to me.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Chris. Really appreciate you. All right. We're going to move on. Last in this set here is David, but much more to come. We have David Roth. David, thank you so much for being in the studio. Oh, here, let me.
How's that sound? Are we good now?
Sounds wonderful to me, David. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Charlotte. And I just loved hearing that Stephen Foster song, and I love Stanley's song too. Just and all the ones we've played so far, just beautiful to hear. That's one of my favorites, Chris. Just love that one.
It's fantastic to have all this talent here. David, what will you share with us today?
Hopefully the song will speak for itself. So here goes something. My plans fly out the window. Agenda's broken down. There's nothing else to do right now but stop and look around. People frozen in their tracks are dealing with the same. And now is not the time or place to find someone to blame. When the universe is ready, so am I. When the universe is ready, so am I. The mighty sands are shifting by and by. When the universe is ready, so am I. We've bottled up our oceans, we have fouled up all the air. For the poison of our progress, we are fully unprepared. For the consequence of actions, for these outcomes we brought forth, it is time to pay attention to the wisdom of the earth. When the universe is ready, so am I. When the universe is ready, so am I. The mighty sands are shifting by and by. When the universe is ready, so am I. Behold a new beginning, a vision like a star. Mother Earth self-regulates when we have gone too far. I'm looking out my window, I see my neighbor wave. We're singing from a distance, and we're closer to the day, and closer to the moment when we have our sweet embrace. And what a blessing it will be to meet you in that place. When the universe is ready, so am I. When the universe is ready, so am I. The mighty sands are shifting by and by. When the universe is ready, so am I.
I'd say that spoke for itself. Thank you so
Okay.
much, David.
You're very welcome.
Thanks. So inspired by current events, it seems.
Very accurate assessment. That's a co-write with my old friend Grant Baldwin. I met Grant in 1985 at the Kerrville Folk Festival. We were in a songwriting contest back then, and I was living in New York City at the time. And we stayed in touch all these years. And in a recent exchange of emails, on self-quarantine, Grant lives in Oregon. I live on Cape Cod, so hello to my Massachusetts brethren and sister. He closed one of his emails saying, I look forward to the time when we can get together when the universe says it's time. And something about the essence of that phrase, I said, Grant, let's write this song. And we wrote it the next day across the cyberwaves. I made a video of it, and I'll invite anybody who's interested to, it's gotten several thousand views. It's virtually on the verge of going viral, to go to my website, davidrothmusic.com, or send me an email, davidrothmusic@gmail.com. And you can find out about what I'm doing, and I'll send you a link to that video of When the Universe is Ready.
Fantastic. David Roth, thank you so much for that rendition of When the Universe is Ready.
My pleasure to hear you all. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Wonderful. We just had some wonderful music from David. You can find his music at davidrothmusic.com. Again, if you are just joining us, we are here at this is St. John's Coffeehouse Concert Benefit. This is a virtual studio concert being broadcast live. We are so fortunate to have so many wonderful performers with us, and also to be working with FoodLink Massachusetts, who are working hard 7 days a week to bring to distribute food equitably to communities in Massachusetts. So we are very grateful to them for the work that they do. You can donate both using Venmo and PayPal. Venmo is at Charlotte-Pierce, Pierce-1, and PayPal is daytripper@piercepress.com. We are accepting donations all throughout this evening. We are so happy to have you joining us today. Without further ado, we are going to move on to the next performer. We have Ruthann Baler here today. Ruthann, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Nathan. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing wonderful. I'm very happy to be here. Ruthann, tell us a little bit about what you're going to share with us today.
I will, but I just want to say quickly, you and Charlotte and the whole crew, you're making this look so easy, but, I think most people realize it, but it is a ton of work for you guys to put this together. So thank you for doing this and helping the community. And I just wanted to point that out. The song that that I'm contributing tonight is it's off my CD Rivers and Trains, and it's called In the Garden. The inspiration for this song came to me when I watched the beginning of the documentary about George Harrison living in a material world. And in the beginning scene, he's peeking behind a bunch of red tulips. And what you learn in that documentary is that George Harrison was a gardener, and he went to the garden to get peace and to find solace. And I chose that song because then I'm wishing for for everyone I'm hoping that people have a place where they can go right now during these difficult times and find peace and solace and their own metaphorical gardens. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to say about that song.
Thank you, Ruthann. Take it away.
I think you guys are playing it.
Oh, we should have a clip.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to juggle a few things because I didn't realize that Ruthann was not going to play. Give me a.
All right, we are
Go on to Robin. And
yes, we will move on. We'll have Robin play, and then we will have Ruthann's clip play. Thank you, Ruthann, for sharing.
Cool. Okay.
We'll be just right with you. Robin O'Haron is also with us today. Robin, how are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Fantastic, Robin. What do you have to share with us today?
So I play a lot of Delta blues and gospel, and this is a little original gospel tune that hopefully will bring some hope to people. It's called "It's Gonna Be All Right."
Fantastic.
Sometimes in the cool of the evening, sometimes in the heat of the day, sometimes when you're feeling down and lonely. Listen, you can hear the Savior say, it's gonna be all right, gonna be okay. Through the darkest night, He will light the way. Yeah, yeah, so don't you worry, don't you fret. You know the Lord is faithful, yeah, gonna be all right, gonna be okay. Everybody needs a little help sometimes. The road is dark, you need a hand to hold, and maybe you lost sight of where you're headed to. You come far, still a long way from home. Gonna be alright, gonna be okay. Through the darkest night, He will light the way. Yeah, yeah, so don't you worry, don't you sweat. You know the Lord is faithful, yeah, gonna be alright, gonna be okay. Everybody gets a little down sometimes. No one's there to hear your lonely cries. In isolation, He knows all about what you are struggling with. Through those storms, He will stay right by your side. Gonna be alright, gonna be okay. Through the darkest night, He will light the way. Yeah, yeah, so don't you worry, don't you fret. You know the Lord is faithful, yeah, gonna be alright, gonna be okay, gonna be alright, gonna be okay.
Wonderful, Robin. Thank you so much. I love that groove.
Thank you. So great to be here and part of this wonderful event. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Robin, if we want to find any of your music or get in touch with you, where can we find you?
RobinO'Haron.com.
All right.
Yeah.
ROBINOHERIN.
That's it. Yeah, you got it.
All right, folks.
I also
you heard it
wanted
here.
I wanted to mention that Robin and Mary Lou Ferrante, their concert in last September, right?
Right. Women pioneers in American music. You have a
That
great
is-
video.
We have a video on our YouTube channel, St. John's Concerts, and literally I edited that, and along with the people at ACMI, and dozens of hours listening to that.
Wow.
Over and over again, and I never got tired of it. It's just stunning. Just truth in music, man. It's so good. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah, I love you.
We've got Ruthann's in the garden, right?
Ruthann's in the garden. We're all queued up, ready to go. Ruthann, we're back to you, and we're looking forward to hearing your song. Ruthann Baler's In the Garden.
After sunrise, in the garden, sweet grass everywhere. After sunrise, in the garden, spirit moves the air. In the journey, passion moving, purple, red, and blue. In the journey, colors moving, sun is coming through. Your eyes are shining through another dawn. Your legacy lives on and on. Can you feel my love reaching for you in the garden, speaking to you in the garden? Waterfalls of time, words are floating by. Just you and I, you and I. Just you and I, you and I. After midday, in the garden, shrubs and moss and trees. After midday, in the garden, roses in the breeze. See the orchids, yellow whispers climbing to the sky. See the birches, soft and graceful souls of angel white. Your hands are turning earth into the light. Your heart still giving life to life. Can you feel my love reaching for you in the garden, speaking to you in the garden? Waterfalls of time, words are floating by. Just you and I, you and I. Just you and I, you and I. Ooh. waterfalls of joy, words of floating by. Just you and I, you and I. Just you and I, you and I. Just you and I, you and I.
Beautiful, Ruthann. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Be part of this important event tonight. I want to
Yeah,
do a little shout out to my son, Sam. My son, Sam, was on the electric guitar on that. And
sounded fantastic.
Thank you. And Kim Jennings was on harmonies. So anyway, thank you guys for all that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Ruthann. I hope we can all find our own garden to take comfort in. And certainly, I do know that many people are doing more gardening than usual now that we're stuck at home.
Vegetable gardens too. Vegetables as well.
Absolutely. That's what we're working on here at my house. So thank you, Ruthann, so much for sharing. We are next. We have, again, if you're just joining us, we're here on the live stream, St. John's Coffeehouse. We're going for a bit longer here. We have donation links at Venmo and PayPal. And we're here with, next up, Eduardo Betancourt. Eduardo, bienvenidos. Thank you so much for being here. What are you going to share with us today?
Well, very happy to be here with you, Nathan, and Charlotte, and next to a great artist this beautiful afternoon. Well, I bring music, my own music, mixed with folk from Venezuela. And I'll play in the song Aquason. Is my composition, and the next I'll play in the traditional joropo from Venezuela, and with some improvisation for you this afternoon.
Fantastic. Take it away, Eduardo.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So
Wow.
lovely. As I can see from the comments coming in that many people enjoyed that just as much as I did. Eduardo, tell us just real quick about your instrument and the tradition that comes from your instrument in Venezuela.
Yeah, well, the harp is very, very used in the folk of my country, in the region of the Llanos, Los Llanos de Venezuela. Is very used the harp, and in special, this is an amazing harp, Venezuelan harp made in France by Camac Harps. Have an use with this harp is levers. It's like the black key of the piano. Yeah.
Wow.
And yes, well, I have more than 25 years as a musician and playing around the world. I'm original from Venezuela. And well, this is my passion, my life. And right now I'm Boston, I live in Boston, and well, I'm very happy to meet with you today.
We're so happy to have you here, Eduardo. Really, it is an honor. Amazing rhythms, amazing control over your instrument. For those who do not know, Eduardo is a Grammy Award-winning harpist that we have here joining us today. We are so fortunate. You can find all of Eduardo's music at www.eduardobetancourt.com.
Yeah, absolutely. I have this is my album. If you can find two in Spotify, and you can find each songs of my composition. And well, I hope that enjoy. And thanks for this space for me and for your time for me today.
Of course, Eduardo, we are so happy to provide that space and so happy to have you here. Check out Eduardo's CD on Spotify, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Oops. Are we muted?
I will babble until Nathan gets back on. I think you're muted, Nathan.
Oh, so sorry. I'm muted. That was my fault. See, I keep thinking I'm muting and unmuting myself.
You're just so excited to hear Chris and Quinn.
Absolutely. So what I was saying was, thank you so much, Eduardo. We're so happy to have you here. And without further ado, we have Chris and Quinn Eastburn is what I said on mute, but you couldn't hear me. Thank you so much to both of you for being here. How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Happy to be here. Happy to be listening to some live music, which we don't have as much of a chance to do these days.
Yeah. So is 2 short songs good? Does that work in terms of timing?
Let's too short. I think we can do that.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
What a beautiful city, oh. What a beautiful city, oh. What a beautiful city there. 12 Ks through the city, hallelujah. Yeah, I'm going down to the river. I throw my soul in the sand. I'm gonna shout my troubles over to the promised land. You know that 12 Ks through the city, hallelujah. Oh, what a beautiful city, oh, what a beautiful city, oh, what a beautiful city that's 12 Ks through the city, hallelujah. I'm gonna sing and shout. If there ain't nobody up there, who's gonna put me out? You know that 12 Ks to the city, hallelujah. Oh, what a beautiful city, oh, what a beautiful city, oh, what a beautiful city that's 12 Ks to the city, hallelujah.
It's ready?
Wonderful job, guys. You wanna hit your last tune real quick?
Yeah, Quinn's just changing up instruments. He's been playing sort of recent project for him is playing all the bluegrass instruments. So he's been working on a lot of mandolin and bass and some guitar, and the most recent one is banjo. And this is a tune I wrote probably about 25 years ago when I was in a rock band, but it feels like a good banjo tune. So.
Stampede across the urban plains with sneaking hooves and spiky manes. The muscle herd of dominance gains on us, fling us under. From where do they come, these tall-eyed chaps, athletic shorts and bullfight lats? Might also be the place perhaps please hurry no time to wonder. Hurry no time to wonder. And fun is fun, yeah. Some people know the gunning. Fun is fun, yeah. Some people know the blood and fun is fun, yeah. Some people know the blood and fun is fun, yeah. Some people know the blood. Scrambling in the midst of deafening voice, stand up under baby boy. Humanity is not allowed to ignore the pounding or plunder. It's past what's done, it's done, yes. My feet up below the run. The herd didn't stop a grunted fun. For herself and those dropped under. And fun is fun, yes. Some people below the run and fun is fun, yes. Some people below the run and fun is fun, yes. Some people So what people know.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you both so much. You can hear me, right? You can hear me? Fantastic. Oh, I love it. All right. Quinn and Chris, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just play one instrument, right? You gotta learn them all. You gotta learn them all. You sound great, Quinn. It's fantastic. The two of you are part of a group. I believe you're called the Berry Pickers. Is that correct?
Yes. So we performed at Passim last year. We're performing it maybe this summer if conditions allow at SJC. And I also direct the Family Folk Chorale, which Quinn is a big member of the band for that one, and that's a 60-voice chorus in Arlington. And then I write orchestra shows. Quinn also plays with Boston Youth Symphony. A whole variety of projects.
Amazing. So we have some very, very active community members and artists. Quinn and Chris, thank you so much. Is there a place that we can find your work, get in touch with you?
Yeah, my orchestra arrangements can be found at theirsongs.com, and Quinn can be found at fiddlingquinn.com.
There you are, fiddlingquinn.com. Please check out more of their music. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. So everybody here, if you're just tuning in, this is the live stream for St. John's Coffeehouse concert series. We are live in the virtual studio today because of the current crisis. And we are so happy to have this platform to share local artists, to promote musicians, and also to raise money for FoodLink Massachusetts, which is doing some really important work distributing food throughout communities across the state of Massachusetts. So we are so happy to be partnering with them. We have one more set of music. We will have a poem and 4 more musicians here, probably closing out around 8:30. Thank you all who have been staying with us. We have some really wonderful performers to close this out, and you don't want to miss it. I want to give a quick shout out to our tech, Jeff Monroe, as along with everybody at Arlington Community Media Inc., because this is the vehicle for which we really, this, like Ruthann said, this does take a lot of work behind the scenes, and we are so lucky to work with Jeff and Arlington Community Media to make this happen and to create this broadcast. So thank you, Jeff. And again, thank you, Charlotte, for producing. You can donate via Venmo at Charlotte-Pierce-1 and on PayPal at daytripper@piercepress.com. We have already raised over $2,000. We are so thankful for everybody who's tuned in and donated. There's really, it's the first time that St. John's is doing this, and we are so happy with the results. So we are going to continue with one more set of live music in this day and age. How crazy is that? Live broadcast into your homes. We have these wonderful people here. I am going to now turn it over to back to Stephen Ratiner, Arlington's Poet Laureate, along with co-collaborator Todd Brunel. How are the two of you doing?
Great. It's been wonderful music.
Well, we started with a wonderful poem, Stephen. Thanks for setting the tone.
Mm-hmm. Are we hearing you, Todd? Can we hear you?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good. I just wanted to make sure it sounded so muffled there. There you go.
Okay. Cool.
So, Nathan, shall I introduce the poem?
That sounds great.
So the poem is called From the Bridge, and it's dedicated to the great jazz musician Sonny Rollins. Some of you will know the story about this. Early in his career, when Sonny felt he'd lost his way, he stopped playing out with any musicians. But what he would do is he'd go at nights to the Brooklyn Bridge, and he would stand on the railing and just play out to the night, where nobody but the stars could listen to him. And it was a time when he found a new voice for himself. And the great thing about that is we're the beneficiary of all the music that came from that. I think every musician, every artist has a moment like that when we have to go out to the railing of the bridge, stand in the darkness, and be able to find our own voice again. So here's a poem dedicated to him, but the delight is I got introduced to Todd through this wonderful sax player, and we're going to try to do this live. We only got to try it virtually like this, and we'll give it a try for you now. So you get to hear sax and poet creating our own virtual night on the Brooklyn Bridge. And we'll give you this poem that's called From the Bridge. And then Sonny jumped from the bridge, clutching the swan-necked tenor, the keys fluttering like moon after cloud-fledged autumn moon. The torrent of his plunge, gusts making melody, melodies stringing together stars like prayer beads, and then the black stars toppling from their staves. We listened as if it were a raptor's cry, a cri de coeur, a cry for mercy. There is beauty in dissent because we are, all of us, all the time, falling. When Sonny struck the water, the dark world opened at last. 10,000 eighth notes gashed like sparks, like air bubbles rising like applause.
Beautiful. Beautiful
Great.
collaboration. A live collaboration across webcams. That is amazing, and truly an amazing story that you're referencing with Sonny. I'm really obviously some fantastic music there, but definitely some inspiration. Thanks to you both. Is that's the first time you've done it?
We got to practice it in the virtual studio until we felt we had some ways of having the two languages, music and language, fit together. But then this is the first time jumping right in and doing it like Sonny, diving from that bridge.
Fantastic. Todd, where can we find more of your work?
So I have a website. It's called clarinetconspiracy.com. And,
nice.
I've collaborated with a lot of people. There's some friends here, Jonathan, I can see, and Reggie. Haven't seen Reggie in a while, and Akili, Jamal, Haynes, good friend. In fact, Akili and I were supposed to play a concert last weekend for a Mother's Day event. That, by the way, Akili, if you're still tuning in, we're supposed to be doing it this summer, hopefully. So, thank you very much, and I really appreciate the way you are navigating through everything. I think you're doing an amazing job tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Todd. I really appreciate it. Really, I'm very happy that we feature some interdisciplinary creating in this event. It's really important and fun. So thank you both so much for your contributions. Thanks for being here.
Our pleasure.
Could I just jump in?
Yes,
we have a couple people waiting. I don't know if they quite understand that we can only take 10 people in the studio, or in the 6 in the studio and 4 more in the green room. So that's why you've been kicked out periodically. No offense. We will get to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Charlotte. We are just tuning in here. we are going to, I believe, move on to Robert Clapp. We have Robert Clapp in the studio. Thanks so much for being here, Robert. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing today?
I am doing well. I'm very happy to be here listening to all this wonderful music.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great.
So, Robert, I know Robert and also is it Anthony, right? Anthony. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. Robert and Anthony. Thank you both for being here. I heard that this song that you're going to share with us came together pretty quickly, pretty intensely. I was wondering about the story behind it.
Well, Anthony, go ahead. Why don't you give the beginning?
Sure. So, thanks for having us. So, while we were in this quarantine, when everything started happening and we were basically sheltered in place, I decided I needed to do something different other than binge watching Netflix and eating. So I had been playing guitar off and on for years, and decided to pick it back up again, dust it off. So just kind of, as I was fooling with it, kind of put together a little riff. And, as I played it more and more, it sounded pretty good. And so I decided, let me put it on my phone, record it. And now I need to do something with it, right? I can't take it to that next level. I know the perfect person to do this. So I decided, let me send this to Bob. And when I had it, like I said, I had it on my phone. I had a few recordings, different versions of it, some better than others. So I decided, in order to know which one I had to send them, I just named it on my phone, and it came out as Shelter in Place. And I decided to send it to Bob and see what he could do with it.
Right. So I received that text. I listened to the riff, and I have a looper pedal, which I do a lot of my music work on. And I put the riff on a looper pedal, and literally within an hour, it was a song. And from Friday night to the end of the day, Sunday, we had the song done. I produced and directed and recorded a music video to go along with it as a tribute to frontline workers. And also I used a man named Kenny Lewis of Mixed Emotions Studios, who's this has all been affecting, like all musicians. He owns a recording studio, and he does a lot of live work. And I sent it right to him and let him do it and paid him for that. And so so that's kind of the evolution of the song. In 3 days, we have a song and a music video, and it's been good.
Fantastic. We are happy that you're sharing it with us, and thankful that you're thankful for the tribute to all of the frontline workers out there. If there are any of you tuning in to this stream, we thank you very, very much for the work that you do.
And thank you for what you're doing for the people you're doing it for. It's just a lot of people need help right now, so this is great.
We're happy to do it, and really, I thank Charlotte for bringing us all together. So
thanks, Charlotte.
Absolutely. All right, Charlotte, do we have the video queued up? Not sure here.
Yeah, I can only take 6 at a time, so that's why I'm not sure where it is, Robert. I thought there was something that came through on Dropbox, but I wasn't able to get to it.
Okay.
Did you get it up onto the Google Drive?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Let me see. I'm so sorry.
No problem at all.
You guys talk about music or something.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Shelter in Place.
Yep.
I just have to download it to.
Sure.
We are downloading, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us.
Does anybody have a little spinning wheel that we could, like a kaleidoscope or something?
Some Jeopardy music, perhaps.
Yeah, because we all look. Or what is that? What is that show like? Where everyone was in a box.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I don't remember the name of it.
What's my line or something like that?
So just as an interesting tidbit, while we're pulling that up, both Anthony and myself have wives in the medical profession, so that was partly what inspired this song as well. So,
okay, I think I'm getting it with the magic of Windows 10.
Yay!
Shelter in Place. That would be the thing with the little film thing would probably be the right one. Oh, wait a second. I need to go first. I need to screen share. Say something witty and wonderful.
Yes. I'll just go in and say thanks to everyone tuning in. Again, we have just a few more performers. We're really just finishing out this wonderful event. Been really happy to be a part of it. You can still donate. You can still donate to the musicians playing here and to Food Link Massachusetts. The Venmo is Charlotte at Charlotte-Pierce-1. And the PayPal address is Daytripper, like the Beatles song, Daytripper at piercepress.com. We are so thankful to everyone who has tuned in and is tuning in right now. I think that we're
getting there.
Fortunate. We are so fortunate to have live music.
And who are we going to finish up with, Nathan?
Oh, right. We're finishing with the great Reggie Harris. So please stick around. You do not want to miss him. We just have a few more songs left. Thank you again, everybody, for inviting us into your homes today, into your computers, into your laptops, into your tablets, TVs, however you are accessing us.
Okay. Okay, we are loading too many screens.
This is your little behind the scenes sneak peek of, how this is working.
Okay, so first I have to share the screen.
You're sharing.
Okay, I'm sharing. Okay. But I think I don't know if I activated the audio. That would be important.
Sharing screen, activating audio.
Yeah, thank you for talking me through it. No, I don't want to replace it.
We are almost there, folks. So something I was thinking about today is that it is I'm very thankful, one, to be a part of this, one, two, to be able to still connect with my community virtually. I know it's been these are isolating times, but I'm just very grateful to be a part of this concert and to be able to connect with those around me near and far. Charlotte?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get it, but we'll put it on our webpage.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that technical issue.
You want me to play it? Or
if you can play it live, that'd be much easier.
I'll do. I know we've taken a lot of time. Let me just grab my guitar.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, folks, this is live. Folks, this is live right here, right now.
Reggie's very patient.
Can't get any more live than this.
And we have Jonathan and Giulia still.
Yes.
We could maybe just say a few words with them, and I don't know.
Wonderful.
We'll have to...
Yeah, Giulia, we have Giulia from Scottish Fish here today. Giulia, how are you?
Hi.
I don't know. Hi, Giulia.
All right, this is called Shelter in Place.
All right, looks like we're kicking off here.
All right, hey, I'm back. So this is called Shelter in Place.
They're disorganized.
If you you can go to YouTube. You can see the music video, Robert Clapp. You can also download it on Apple Music and Spotify. It's up there as of the last couple days. So here we go. And sorry.
Long ago, last Saturday night, we could walk anywhere
underneath the lights, side by side, no end in sight. Do anything, climb any heights. Open was the world to see, endless possibilities. Future bright, clear starry night. Something changed, faded out of sight. Then they told us we had to go inside. Separate, it's coming wide. Coming from the eastern side. Moving fast, gonna be a ride. Stayed at home to work it through. How long, no one knew. Back and forth, emotions high. Asked ourselves, are we gonna get by? Everything changed in one moment at the mercy of his name. What's been stolen? It's insane. But we're not broken. I can see the time coming when we're out of this shelter in place. Will we see the sweet release? Hope we do when we're out this place. And I know bombs aren't dropping and our lives aren't stopping, but things may never be the same. And it seems so jarring, and the house is barring. Hoping we'll get out of this place, this shelter in place. Shelter in place. Waited for the storms to clear, counting numbers, how did we get here? Familiar names and faces dear, in the feeds of those we bear. Now we're here, it's on the rise, facing monsters in disguise. Many questions, many whys, conquering fears, I hear the rise. Rearranged in one moment, will the world ever be the same? We're all holding on to hope, it remains. This is our moment. I can see the time coming when we're out of this shelter in place. Will we see the sweet release? Hope we do when we're out of this place. And I know bombs aren't dropping and our lives aren't stopping, but things may never be the same. And it seems so jarring, and the house is boring. Hoping we'll get out of this place. Hoping we'll get out of this place. Hoping we'll get out of this place. Shelter in place. Shelter in place. Shelter in place.
Robert, thank you so much. Thank you.
Stay safe.
It live.
Stay safe, everyone. Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Robert, Anthony, thank you so much for that wonderful tribute to all of the frontline workers. Anybody listening in that is working in healthcare, that is working in a grocery store, that is working in trucking, the list goes on and on. We thank you so much for what you do, and we hope you get paid more money. And so thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks, guys.
Of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 more acts. There's donation links are still open. This is St. John's Coffeehouse Concerts Live. We've got Giulia. We've got Jonathan Fagan. We've got Reggie Harris closing it out. Thank you so much again for being here. My name is Nathan. Giulia, without further ado, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I saw your Giulia's in a group called the Scottish Fish, and I was lucky to see that performance at St. John's recently. Giulia, what are you going to share with us today?
So we put together a video as soon as all of this started for a live stream concert that happened just over a month ago. Basically, we all played individually from our homes and recorded tracks and then had them compiled. So that was our first experience with something like that, and it turned out pretty cool, I think.
Great. And so we're going to watch a video?
Yeah, Charlotte, I believe, has it. I could also share my screen and just play it from here, whatever is easiest.
Let's try that. Let's try.
You can try that because I'm doing like 12 things. So
yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Totally.
Let's do that.
Let me pull it up 1 second.
Giulia's group, the Scottish Fish, they they played with 4 Arlington's St. John's Coffeehouse concerts just a few months ago. It was a beautiful concert. They are some influential young musicians here on the scene, doing lots of Scottish fiddle tunes. So we very much looking forward to hearing this piece.
Giulia, just remember when you share the screen that you click that little share audio button as well. Otherwise it won't.
Oh,
play.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, I just clicked on share screen, and can you see that? Oh, wait, it's not.
I'm gonna take
there we go.
People out.
Do I have to share audio as well?
Yes, you share audio. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a different button for that? Because I'm only seeing the screen.
Well, there's a share screen button down below.
Yes. Okay, share screen, and I believe this is audio as
perfect.
Well. All right.
Well, you might be hired, Giulia. Take my place.
Okay, is this working? Is it full screen
Yes,
for everyone?
we can hear it. Well, let's see if we can hear it.
We can't hear it yet. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Giulia, for sharing that with us. Giulia, where can we find the music from the Scottish Fish?
So we are on Spotify. You can also go to our website, which is scottishfishband.com, I believe. Or maybe just scottishfish.com. Haven't checked up on that in a while. And we are also on iTunes.
Perfect. Everybody check out the Scottish Fish at thescottishfish.com or thescottishfishband.com. You can try them both. Giulia, thanks so much for being with us and for sharing. Thank
you for having me.
Of course. To those watching, we have 2 more performances left. We are changing it up slightly. We are going to Reggie Harris has he's so in demand. He has another gig to get.
Sorry about that.
No, we are happy to have you with us. So we will have Reggie Harris and then Jonathan Fagan close it out. Reggie, take it away. What are you going to share with us today?
Well, I thought I would do this song, which is a song from my CD, Ready to Go. It's title cut, Ready to Go. And particularly good, this is a wonderful thing that you all are doing, and you do so many different things, raising money for folks and community building. And this is a song really about stepping up in times of need. A song that I wrote in 2016 as we saw our nation starting to fray, and Lord knows we all have to step up now. So I'm thrilled to be here today. You are doing a really wonderful job, Nathan. Thank you, think about the word today. Oh, glory, hallelujah. Got a lot on my mind, but I'm blessed to say, glory, hallelujah, I'm ready to go. We're all living in a world turned upside down. Oh, glory, hallelujah. But it takes some time to turn it around. Glory, hallelujah, I'm ready to go. Oh, mama, it's a lot of love. You got me singing with the seed you sowed. Up to me, so come what may. Glory, hallelujah, it's a righteous day. Glory, hallelujah, I'm on my way. We got a world of trouble and a world of pain. Oh, glory, hallelujah. They keep spinning the truth in freedom's name. Glory, hallelujah, I'm ready to go. When the haters pull up, I just sing my song. Oh, glory, hallelujah. Keep my mind on track, keeps my spirit strong. Glory, hallelujah, I'm ready to go. Oh, mama, it's a long, long road. You got me singing with the seed you sowed. After me, so come what may. Glory, hallelujah, it's a righteous day. Glory, hallelujah, I'm on my way. And we're singing, say, ba-da-da-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, da-da-da-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-da-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Well, I hope I can't do this all by myself. Oh, glory, hallelujah. It's a long, hard journey, gonna need some help. Glory, hallelujah, I'm ready to go. Well, I'm sitting here thinking about the word a day. Oh, glory, hallelujah. Got friends by my side and I'm blessed to say, glory, hallelujah, I'm ready to go. Oh, mama, it's a long, long road. You got me singing with the seed you sowed. Up to me, so come what may. Glory, hallelujah, it's a righteous day. Glory, hallelujah, I'm on my way. Da-da-da-ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-ba-do-ba-da-da-ba, da-da-da-ba-do-ba, ba-ba-da-ba-do-ba-ba-ba, da
Beautiful. Oh my goodness, Reggie. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me, and thank you for all the money you're raising and for all the goodwill you're spreading.
Thank you, Reggie.
It's our pleasure. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that Reggie's last concert is also on our YouTube channel, and it is stunning. It has my favorite story that you tell about your cousins.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a powerful experience whenever you come, and a joyous one.
Well, thank you, Charlotte, and thank you, Nathan.
Of course, Reggie. It's my pleasure. You can find all of Reggie's music at reggieharrismusic.com. He is a singer. He is a songwriter. He is a storyteller. We are so thrilled to have him joining us here. Thank you so much, Reggie.
What a joy. Be well.
You too.
Be well.
You too. Have a good gig.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So we had Reggie Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, we only have one more performance here. Last but certainly not least, Jonathan Fagan, a friend of mine. We actually went to school together. Jonathan, how's it going? Oh, here, I'm unmuting you. There you go.
I think he has to do it.
Oh, Jonathan.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
Great. Yeah, no, I'm doing okay. It's been quite a concert. I was expecting a lot, but this has definitely exceeded everything I thought that it would be. So thank you, Nathan and Charlotte, for having me and putting on such an amazing performance.
We're so happy to have you here, Jonathan. What are you going to share with us today?
Well, I've been, obviously just working on a lot of solo piano stuff, considering the circumstances, but that's actually been really good for my development as a jazz pianist. And today I want to share a tune that I've heard many great renditions of, most notably to me, my former teacher, Bill Carruthers, and another jazz composer named Claire Fisher. Both have great versions. So I guess I was intimidated to take it on at first, but actually reading through a couple of the lyrics, even earlier today, it struck me as a great addition to, this first quarantine concert. I'll just read a little bit of the third verse. The lyrics are, "Our love is as deep as the sea. Our love is as great as love can be, and we can weather the great unknown if we're alone together." So the tune is called "Alone Together," and it seems like an appropriate. I've even seen it as a hashtag. Many arts organizations since this whole quarantine started. So yeah, this is my interpretation of "Alone Together." I hope you enjoy it. You can all hear my microphone okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Take it away, Jonathan.
Great.
Sounds beautiful.
I'm going to just make sure I can myself here for a second. Okay.
Jonathan, thank you for
Wow.
those final notes of this concert.
That was like the best sound quality. I did not expect it to be so pure and wonderful. That's great.
I mean, in all fairness, my dad may be watching this, but that's probably him. He's
everyone needs a
newly
dad like
retired
that.
sound engineer, and I got to raid his closet, so to speak. So that was very helpful.
Maybe you can do a workshop at ACMI with him.
Great job, Jonathan.
I think he's trying to be retired, but we'll see how long that lasts.
There you go.
Yeah, quite fair.
Oh, that was terrific. And thank you for waiting, all the way to
of course.
the
It was
end.
great to see everybody else. What an amazing group you put together, really. And I know it's a lot of work, a lot more work than it seems like to everybody watching. So thank you, Nathan and Charlotte, again. And
Jeff
hopefully more
Monroe
people
is
donate
on.
while there's still a little time.
Yeah, Jeff, thank you so much for making it happen. And I know that's going to be recorded for ACMI.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's rolling right now. We're recording and
Yes.
we'll be playing it back at times.
So thank you
Fantastic.
to everyone out there who listen. I am just totally blown away by your generosity and your response. This is, of all the hundreds of live streaming things I've done in my life, this is the most engagement and response I've ever gotten. So you're the best out there. That's, the musicians make it happen, and they were really accommodating and, to our, this new format. And, but the people out there listening, I just couldn't believe it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so very, very, very much to our listeners. Thank you again to Jonathan for that wonderful rendition. We may be alone and feel isolated, but we are alone together. And that is really what it's all about here with this concert, with this live stream, live studio space from St. John's Coffeehouse Concerts. I want to thank Jeff Monroe for doing all the tech. I want to thank Arlington Community Media. I want to thank Charlotte Pierce for all of the production and all of the important work that she has done and continues to do for our communities. And thank you for inviting me.
And FoodLink is doing the heavy lifting out there. Yeah.
Absolutely. We need to make sure to thank FoodLink Massachusetts for doing so much necessary food distribution for the state right now.
Yeah.
You can still donate. The donation is still open. Venmo Charlotte-Pierce-1 or PayPal at daytripper at
No. Daytripper at piercepress.com.
Yep. Daytripper at piercepress.com.
Yeah, and we'll leave it open for a little while past this, and we'll definitely do this again. It's so much fun. You guys are really nice to work with. And Jonathan, I could listen to your piano all night.
Oh, thank you. No,
I
well,
really
hope to do
could.
this again sometime soon.
Yeah.
I want to mention too that because of the replay, Charlotte, what people that are watching at home that want to contribute after the fact,
yes,
how is there a place, should they go to FoodLink directly? I know we've been plugging their website, but
they can donate to FoodLink directly, but the Venmo and the PayPal will be open. Just put FoodLink or food donation on the memo, and then I'll make sure that it gets there. I won't go to. Well, I can't go anywhere, can I?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to mention to all the viewers and listeners, thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Charlotte. But to support local music, you can go to the sites, any of the musicians that you like tonight, go to their websites, buy their merchandise, buy their music. If there's available on Apple Music or any of the Spotify, anytime you can access local musicians' art. So please support them and know that this is a tough time for them. So any way that you can lift them up at this time, I suggest that you do that. And thank you all for supporting live local music. It's something that I've done personally for many years.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad, Charlotte, that you've introduced me to the St. John's Coffeehouse and all the amazing musicians that I've got to experience.
Yeah, I mean,
now
it's all
and,
about the.
and then, right?
It's
But
all
you
about giving the musicians a venue to play, giving our community live music, so that to experience that aspect of life, and also to benefit the great social support organizations that we have here. So.
Absolutely. And
All right.
Nathan, thank you. You did a great job tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My name is Nathan Montgomery. I am a musician, educator, and creator. You can find any of my work at nathanmontgomery.net. I am super grateful to be here. Thankful to Charlotte and Jeff. Thankful to all of the performers, and thankful to FoodLink. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going over and out. We'll see you on the other side.